few years ago, I was alone in my apartment on a weekday afternoon at the Reserve at Forest Hills, where we used to live here in Wilmington, North Carolina. And a really strong, aggressive knock came at the door. And before I could even get to the door, it came again, another strong, aggressive knock. Now, almost nobody ever comes and visits our house, much less in the afternoon on a weekday, much less banging that hard on the door. So it was startling. I look out the peek hole, and there's two male police officers and one female police officer. And I open the door, and they say we're responding to a report of a domestic disturbance. And I'm like, well, nothing going on here. I'm here alone. And they say, well, the people were very specific that there was a domestic disturbance going on. And I was like, well, I don't know what's happening. I didn't hear anything, and I'm here by myself. What did they say they heard? They said that it was very violent, a violent, vicious attack with noise and banging and yelling and screaming, and someone saying that they were going to make someone pay, and that they were going to kill them, and the sound of what they believed was a female victim crying and whimpering and asking, why are you doing this? Why do you do this? Why are you hurting me? It sounded horrible. And they asked if they could walk through my apartment to verify that I was there alone. I said, sure. So they walked through the apartment, the one-bedroom apartment. Took 2 seconds, and they were like, okay, sorry to bother you. We have to go now and look for, the apartment. This is actually happening again. I wasn't scared at all, though, about someone being injured, because I knew that they had come to the right apartment already. Closed the door. They started going from door to door to the other apartments. I'm sitting there in my apartment, sweating bullets, and very nervous and afraid and embarrassed, because I'm feeling guilty that this is happening, because I know what's going on. And finally, I go out the door and I say, hey, this is kind of embarrassing, but I just want to let you guys know so you can stop looking and stop, knocking on people's doors. It was coming from my apartment. You see, my doctor, my psychologist, has me doing this technique called anger release work. And what I was doing, and I thought I was being quiet enough not to disturb anyone, but what I was doing was I was expressing my anger with words and through actions, like punching and beating my pillow and beating my bed with a tennis racket. And so it was very, very noisy. I think, what about the female? Well, you see, sometimes when you do anger release work, it turns into the release of sadness and heartbreak. So after you express your anger, sometimes you feel sadness and you need to express that too. And so between angry outbursts, sometimes I was crying and dealing with that side of my emotions. And I see the look coming over their face as they realize that I'm both the Vic and the perp in this situation, playing both roles and simultaneously being such a convincing, angry, violent monster that someone feels the need to call the police, while also being a crying, whimpering, sad person to the point that I was completely convincing, apparently, as a female victim. Um, I was very, very embarrassed. I apologized. I'm so sorry that you came here and the trouble that it's caused and the wasting of resources, and they were like they were so relieved that someone wasn't being murdered that they were very nice about it, and they told me that it didn't sound that crazy to them, and maybe I should come down to the station and teach them how to do anger release work, and it might help them and some of the other officers be able to better release their anger. But that's the anger release story. Hope you enjoyed it.